Today I want us to look at risk management, and it's one of the functions of the body, and probably look at the different terms that we use in risk management. The first thing to define is the term risk. Risk is effect of uncertainty on objectives. And I repeat again, effect of uncertainty on objectives. The first thing you need to understand is that risk makes it difficult to achieve the set objectives. It introduces an element of uncertainty of what is likely to happen. So two major characteristics of risk is uncertainty, and number two, the likelihood of occurrence. And so when you talk about risk, you're talking about a combination of two things or three things. One, uncertainty of what we expect to happen. The likelihood of negative consequences occurring, and even the non-occurrence of what is expected. Now, the second term we shall look at in risk management is the term itself, risk management. We normally say risk management is coordinated activities to direct and control an organization with regard to the risk. I repeat again, coordinated activities to direct an organization with regard to risk. It therefore means that risk management is taking measures that manage risk, that eliminate risk, that reduce risk. When you talk about a risk management framework, which is our third term, you're talking about a set of components. That's a risk management framework. You're talking about a set of components that provide the foundations and organizational arrangements for designing, implementing, monitoring, and continually reviewing risk management throughout an organization. So risk management framework, you're talking about a set of components that provide the principles, that provide the arrangements of designing, implementing, and monitoring the risk management strategy. Let's look at the fourth term, which is risk management policy. A risk management policy is a statement of an organization's intentions, an organization's strategies related to risk management. So risk management policy, you're talking about a statement, you're talking about a document that clearly spells out the overall direction and the intention an organization intends to take as far as risk management is concerned. When you talk about another term that we normally use in risk management is what we call the risk management process. Risk management process is the systematic application of management policies. The systematic application of management policies to to the activities of communicating, identifying, evaluating, and reviewing of risk. So the whole process of either eliminating risk, of reducing the risk, that systematic application of management policy to risk management is what we call risk management process. Let's look at another term. We call it the stakeholder. A stakeholder is a person or an organization who is likely to be affected by a decision or an activity of an organization. The effect could be positive or negative. And in risk management, it is important to understand that we have different stakeholders within the process. So a person who is likely to be affected by the decisions or the activities of an organization, as far as an organization risk management activities is concerned, is called a stakeholder. The other term we need to look at is risk perception. Risk perception is the stakeholders' belief or their perception of risk. How do they view the risk? What are their beliefs about risk? What is their attitude towards risk? Another term that is used in risk management is known as risk criteria. Risk criteria is a set of factors against which the significance of a risk is assessed, or a set of standards against which the significance or the seriousness of a risk is evaluated. They could be standards. These criteria could be standards. They could be laws. They could be policies. They could be targets. Then we have risk assessment. Risk assessment is the process of identification of risk, the analysis of risk, the evaluation of risk. Three things: identification of risk, analysis of risk, evaluation of risk. Let's drill the term further and come up with another term, that is risk identification. When you talk about risk identification, you talk about the process of finding risks, the process of recognizing risks, the process of describing risks. So risk identification is the process of finding risks, recognizing risks, and describing risks. And when you talk about risk identification, you're talking about identifying the sources of risks, the events that cause risk, and the potential consequences of risk. The other term that we will look at is risk description. Risk description is a structured statement describing four elements: sources of risks, events causing risks, and the consequences of risks. So risk description describes sources, events, causes, and consequences of risk. Let me repeat again: sources, events, consequences, and causes of risk. That is known as risk description. The other term that is used in risk management is risk source. This is an element which is likely or has the potential to give rise to a risk. You're talking about an element or which alone or a combination of elements which have the potential to give rise to a risk. When you talk about an event is an occurrence or a set of circumstances or change in circumstances which are likely to cause risks. That's an event. For example, you can say fire can cause risk. When you talk about a hazard in risk management, because that's another term, you talk about a source of potential harm. A hazard defines a risk source. So a hazard is a source of potential harm, and it can be a risk source. The other term we can talk about is risk owner. Risk owner is a person who is accountable or who has the authority or the responsibility to manage risks in an organization. Let's look at risk analysis. Risk analysis is the process of comprehending risk, evaluating risk in order to determine the level of risk. And therefore, risk analysis basically provides us with a basis of evaluating risk and informs decisions about risk management. And therefore, risk analysis is a careful study of risks. How serious are they? What is the likelihood of that risk occurring? Another term that is important is risk exposure. Risk exposure is the extent to which an organization is subject to an event or a risk. The extent to which an organization is subject to a risk or an event. How prone is it and how vulnerable is it? Another thing is the risk matrix. Risk matrix is basically a tool for ranking of risks, a tool for displaying of risks by defining the possible consequences of risk and the likelihood of risk occurring. So risk matrix is a tool of ranking risks and for displaying risks in terms of defining the consequences of risk and even the likelihood of occurrence of risk. Risk attitude is an organization's approach to assess, to pursue, to retain, to take, or to turn away from risks. So an organization's approach to risk management is known as risk attitude. Another term is risk appetite. Risk appetite is the amount of risk that an organization is willing to pursue or retain. The other term is risk tolerance. This is an organization's readiness to bear risk. The other term is risk aversion. This is the attitude to turn away from risk. Risk aggregation, on the other hand, is a combination of a number of risks into one. So when you combine all the risks into one big risk, then we call about risk aggregation. Risk acceptance, on the other hand, is a decision to take on a particular risk. Risk treatment is a process to modify risk. And so we shall read there and we shall continue from there.